Good Saturday morning, everybody. It is May 17th, and I'm Chris Allen here with your 270 weather. 270 weather, the weather for the 270 area code and beyond. So, yeah, I'm still just kind of like, what a night. At least it didn't go all through the night like some severe weather events have this year. But it was still a rough night, and it's been, unfortunately, a devastating night in some parts of our region, but more specifically here in the state of Kentucky. Um, Specifically over in places like Somerset, London, Kentucky. Um, Altogether, we're looking at 9 fatalities in Kentucky. Most of those in Laurel County, which is the London, Kentucky area. And that photograph that you're seeing right there is just a bit of the damage in London, Kentucky. Somerset along US 27, also devastated. Um, there are a number of injuries that happened as a result of last night's storms. There are tens of thousands of people still without power from the damaging wind and tornadoes that came through. Large hail, very large hail. Everything that we had talked about several days before any of this happened, verified. The size of the hail, the intensity of the winds, the possibility of strong tornadoes, all of that happened. And by the way, the strongest tornado, and they have yet to be rated, but you can just look at this damage and think that it's probably high end EF3 to low end EF4 in London, Kentucky, maybe even Somerset. The National Weather Service will go out and determine uh, just how strong those tornadoes were, but uh, the damage from everything is pretty significant. Um, and we just had a feeling with the level 4 moderate risk that was put out by the Storm Prediction Center, and everything we were seeing in the atmosphere uh, led up to last night. There was in particular one supercell thunderstorm that we tracked from the Boot Hill of Missouri all the way across southern Kentucky. And it is that cell that produced the tornado in Somerset and in London, Kentucky. One cell by itself. It went almost close to 500 miles. One cell. And that's all it takes. But it was one supercell that just lived and thrived off of the environment that was around it. It's pretty incredible. It takes me back to April 16th of 98. That one cell that started back west of Bowling Green, I think it was around Todd or Logan County, started as just one thunderstorm cell, and it grew and it grew and it grew as it moved east and became the hailstorm of 98 for Bowling Green, flooding rainfall and tornadoes. It reminded me of that because it was just one cell by itself. Pretty extraordinary for a cell to live and long track that far. But all of that is out of the area now, um, and the cleanup begins for a lot of people. I mean, I cannot recall the last time Somerset or London, Kentucky, um, has been hit with a tornado. Um, we would have to go back and look at the books to see about that one. But as of this moment, as of 6:53 a.m. Central Time here on this Saturday morning, the number is up to 9. Total throughout the region, 18 fatalities. And I'm sure the number, unfortunately, is going to go up. Okay. Here are some other numbers from yesterday: a high of 84, 5 degrees warmer than normal. The normal high is 79. The low was 64. But look at the rainfall: 1.46 inches, almost an inch and a half, which ties the record rainfall for the day set back in 2015. Now, there were some locations that got well over 2 inches, 2.5 inches of rain. So the amount of rainfall verified as well in many, many locations. There were a number of flood warnings, flood advisories, flash flood warnings because of just a lot of water. I mean, when that rain came down, as we were covering it live on Facebook and News 40 last night, we could take some of our cameras and you could see just, I mean, just almost zero visibility when the rain was being driven by those winds of up to 70, 80, even 90 miles per hour. We had a few locations that said that they had winds that strong. And of course, when you're near a tornado, the winds are going to be 110, 120, maybe even higher, depending on the strength of the tornado. So we're glad that's over. But is it really over? No. And as we say at News 40, it's always severe weather season. It's always severe weather season. And that statement could not be more true than it has been this year, because we've had severe weather in the winter. Well, it was still winter on the calendar, and now the spring. And if this trend keeps going, it's going to be summer in a month, and this trend could keep going. So I'm just telling you, if you when you think it's over, it's not over. And there were a couple of times last night when we thought the severe weather threat had weakened a bit, but it wasn't over. Here's a look at radar this morning, and you can see that things are clear. We've got sunshine this morning. Everything is looking nice after the storms of last night, and we should have a nice day. Today is going to be a very nice day. A little cooler, a little less humid, not as muggy as it has been the last few days. We get a much needed break. Here is a look at the high resolution satellite view this morning. Sunshine, wall to wall. There are a few little clouds here and there, but overall sunshine, pretty nice. To the south of us, you can see a band of cloud cover associated with the cold front, which is now out to the east of us and south of us. And that's where the nasty weather is going to traverse today: Virginia's, Carolinas, Georgia, Alabama. Maybe not quite as severe as what we saw here, but just to give you an idea, you see the hand here. That that one supercell started right about here in between Poplar Bluff and Cape Girardeau last night. One supercell. It went east, went through Paducah with a possible tornado there, kept going, possible tornado in Todd and Logan counties. And then we had tornado warnings here in Bowling Green, but no confirmed tornado that we know of. But Some of the damage this morning could be from that, but it was when it got over towards Somerset and London, Kentucky. Look at that. It went straight due east, that one cell. That's about a 500-mile span. Really just incredible. The sheer strength of that particular supercell. It was just all by itself. It had nothing to stop it as far as stable air. It had all the unstable air, the moisture and the warmth and the lift all around it. And it just had no other storms to weaken it. And it just sucked it all up. And it would go weak, then it would become strong again, then go weak and become strong again. And the strongest part was when it went east of us, even into Russell County, Russell Springs, Jamestown area, then on over to Pulaski County, which is Somerset. That's where it started to strengthen. And then the worst part of it was in Laurel County for London, Kentucky, right up and down I-75. Ugh. Anyway, here we are right now as of right at 7 a.m. on this Saturday morning. Temperatures are in the 60s, mostly mid 60s everywhere you look. The dew points are also in the 60s. So we still have some humid, somewhat humid air, but it's going to start to feel better. Some of these dew points are going to go down today, and it's going to start to feel very nice. Rainfall. Now, this is where we have spots that picked up well over an inch, inch and a half. We set that 1 day record here in Bowling Green, but look at this 3.31 inches of rain in Butler County for the past 24 hours. This includes the storms that hit yesterday morning before we had that lull in the activity. So this is yesterday morning plus last night, 3.31 inches, just over 3 inches in Hart County, 3.17 in Greene County. Then other locations like, well, the Corvette plant, almost 2.75 inches of rain. And then on the southern end of the county, not as much, 1.33 inches. So those two Kentucky mesonet sensors are only, what, 10 miles, air miles away from each other. And look at the difference between the two. You got 1.5 inches of rain in Barron County, 1.33 inches in Metcalfe County. And then around it, close to an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. There's a 2.38 over in Caldwell County in the Princeton area. So it just, various amounts of rain for the 24-hour period. And that's because we had rain yesterday morning. Then we had the midday break before the second wave came in the afternoon and evening. And that added to these numbers to make up the 24-hour totals from the Kentucky Mesonet Network. Here's a look at the winds this morning coming out of the south, still out of the south and southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And you may find a gust at 10 to 15. The winds primarily today will become more westerly and then more from the northwest later as the cold front completely clears the area. And that's when you'll start to feel the dew points going down, the humidity going down, and it's going to start to feel a much, much better atmosphere and not quite as humid as it has been. All right. Here's a look at the weather maps this morning. And you can see that Really, this is non-existent. This little sliver of rain they've got here, um, it's already gone. But the rains that you see over here in the Virginias and the Carolinas, far eastern Tennessee, still ongoing ahead of the cold front. There's your front, which is now just about to Paducah, actually right over Paducah and moving east. We're going to have a fine day. The front is not going to gin up any more thunderstorm activity. It's all spent its energy. It's done. So the front will come through and all it's going to do is freshen up the air. It's going to bring down, as I mentioned, dew points, humidity, the mugginess in the air is going to come down. It's going to feel nice later today and tonight. Well, it just reset on me. Let me go back. Okay, here we go. Now here's 1 o'clock this afternoon. The front will be south of us, and then we'll start to feel more of a west breeze, maybe even a northwest breeze coming in for tonight. Not all that windy. It is right now, or a little breezy right now, but the winds will calm down later this evening as we get past the front. Now, notice that the front goes into Tennessee, but then this evening it's going to come back north and it's going to become stationary, quasi stationary, uh, a rolling stop, so to speak. Well, as that boundary sits there, it's waiting on the next piece of energy to come in, and it's going to come in as soon as tomorrow evening, Sunday afternoon and evening. To the west of us tonight, overnight, we'll begin to see light rain showers back into parts of Missouri and southern Illinois, maybe even very far western Kentucky. Then the rain starts creeping a little further east as we get into Sunday morning, but there's still high pressure in control, which is going to keep us at the surface mainly dry as the dew points go down into the 50s. But with that boundary and the rain coming in, the dew points are going to go back up as we get into Sunday afternoon and evening. And then that's when we start to see maybe some light rain over the southern half of Kentucky and the 270. Here we go into Monday morning early, and it's going to be another rainy, stormy pattern that's coming our way. Rain and thunderstorms for Monday, and look at the heavier rain and thunderstorms back here to the west. That will Okay, it's going to cross the area, but it's for some reason it says it's unable to load that data. Let me see if I can refresh it and it pops up, or it may just not be there. It may not be there. Let's go. Monday. Oh, there it is. I just had to do a refresh. But there you see the coverage Monday morning. Rain and thunderstorms with the stalled boundary in the area. Yes, we could get some more potentially heavy rain. And yes, there could also be a severe weather threat. Look at that. This is Tuesday morning. Warm front. Here we go under the warm sector, just like we did yesterday. Big dome of warm air, Gulf moisture. There's your red zone for Tuesday morning. Ongoing strong to severe storms, southern Illinois and the Boot Hill of Missouri, maybe even far western Kentucky. Here's Wednesday. Then we start to see the cold front moving in, more showers and thunderstorms from Wednesday morning. And then we see things start to taper off as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday. Those showers begin to move east. We sure don't need any more rain. We do not need any more rain, but we're going to get more. And here we go into next Friday. We get a break for next weekend. But look what's lurking back here to the west. That's more rain and more thunderstorms. It has just been the year of rain and flooding. Really, really just this has been one of the most active years of weather I've seen in recent memory. I can remember, a few decades ago when it was this active, but this has been the most active for the first 5 months of the year. This is only May, and you think about all the trouble we've seen so far, and we're not done. Let's look at the severe weather threat because there will be one again next week. Here is the severe weather threat. There's even one back to the southwest of us today where I'm not worried about any of this. Even this general thunderstorm, garden variety stuff here, Madisonville to Paducah, it could be a shower or two back there, but nothing that's going to be severe. So we're in the clear today. Now, here's tomorrow. And this is with the approaching next system that I showed you, the front that begins to stall to our west. There is a level 1 marginal risk that we could see a strong to severe storm tomorrow afternoon, west of Bowling Green and south. Hey, listen, this is why I say it's always severe weather season. You've got to always be prepared. These things are just popping one after the other. Here's Monday. Now, all of the 270 is under the level 1 marginal risk. You see 11 level 2 back at St. Louis, parts of Missouri, Illinois. St. Louis got hit with a very strong tornado um, day before yesterday, before the storms came our direction. And there you also see a level 3 west of St. Louis. This is Monday. All right, let's look at the severe weather outlook for Monday, showing the probability of severe weather. It's on the low end for Monday, 5 to 14%. But I still think we're going to get something out of that. Now, let's go to Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be the day I think we're really going to have to look out for organized severe weather. Already, the Storm Prediction Center has us painted in the yellow. That is a 15 to 29% chance of getting severe storms. South of the border, including Nashville, all the way down to Huntsville, all the way down to Jackson and Memphis, Tennessee, that is a greater than 30% chance of severe weather. Tuesday day, Tuesday, probably afternoon. But this is already level 2 slight risk. Tuesday. Surrounding that will be a level 1. So, I mean, that's why I said earlier, we're not done. We're not done. It looks like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, nothing there, or next Saturday, a week from today, nothing showing up there. But I got to tell you, I've seen, and you've seen it too, where we can look 3, 4, 5 days out and see like these blank maps. And then a day or two later, all of a sudden we're seeing a higher threat of severe weather that it just materializes. It's crazy. But that is the kind of pattern that we're in. And so we're going, and I don't know what else it's going to take to get some of you to become engaged and activated, to getting a NOAA weather radio, to downloading the News 40 weather app, to doing whatever you can to stay prepared and ready, because these things are just, I don't see an end to these, to this pattern. I just don't. Not anytime soon. Here is your model blender. We go low 80s today, around 80 tomorrow. Low to mid 80s Monday and Tuesday with showers and thunderstorms likely. But look at this drop off here of almost 10 degrees. Well, actually, more than 10 degrees, more like 12-degree drop. And even more than that, Wednesday into Thursday. It is going to feel really, really nice this coming Wednesday and Thursday, even Friday. That's those 3 days that I showed you. There's no severe weather. All the storms are gone. Everything is nice and cooler and less humid. We don't heat back up until we go maybe next Sunday, Monday, the final week of May. We're already there. That's just, it's hard for me to even fathom that we're that far along. But that following week there is the last week of May. All right. So here is the graphic that I made last night of the 7-day forecast, which you can see at WNKY.com and the News 40 weather app. 82, mostly sunny today, a pleasant 60 tonight. We'll get up to around 80 tomorrow with that chance of a few isolated showers, but the chance really goes up on Monday with a high of 80. Showers and thunderstorms likely, and that goes for Tuesday as well. There may be some heavy rain, and there's also that severe weather threat already colored in, painted in for Tuesday. After that, once that cold front comes through, boy, it's going to cool down. Still some showers Wednesday, 71. An isolated shower Thursday, 67. 67. That's cool. And then 70 next Friday. So that will be enjoyable, but in the meantime, not so enjoyable. This very stormy pattern with 9 confirmed fatalities in the state of Kentucky because of the severe weather and tornadoes last night. Hardest hit from Somerset to London, Kentucky. The stuff we got around here, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't near as bad as what they got east of us. So we're praying for them. The cleanup begins today. I know the American Red Cross are already on the ground. There are people on the ground with chainsaws. I mean, you can see they're showing it back there. Yeah, that's London, Kentucky, Laurel County, that they're showing on Fox Weather at this moment. And this has been, there's that picture I just showed you of the car that's all battered up. The weather networks and even the news networks have been all over this morning because it's the big story. It's that bad. So thankfully we didn't get it that bad here, but we could be next, and we're not done. It's always severe weather season. Thank you all for watching us last night on News 40, our coverage. Thank you for watching 270 Weather. Thank you for trusting me and trusting us to bring you the weather that you need to know. In the meantime, have a great Saturday. Thanks for watching.